My name is Kara, and for most of my life, I was easy. Easy to be around, easy to please, easy to rely on. I knew how to read people, how to adjust, how to smooth things over before tension ever appeared. I was the friend who always said yes, the daughter who never caused problems, the coworker everyone could count on, the wife who kept the peace. And for a long time, that worked. Until one day it didn't. Not because I became difficult. Not because I started fights or burned bridges. But because I stopped shrinking. I stopped saying yes when I meant no. I stopped explaining myself when I didn't owe an explanation. I stopped performing for people who weren't really paying attention. And that's when everything changed. Because the people around me, they noticed. And they didn't know what to do with the version of me that wasn't easy anymore. Welcome to Good Stories Today, your channel for emotional and inspiring stories. Listen while you drive, work, or simply seek inspiration. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next videos. This is the story of how I stopped being easy and started being honest. Chapter 1. The Woman Who Adapted. I grew up in a house where keeping the peace was everything. My parents weren't bad people. They just argued a lot. Not violently, not dramatically. Just this constant, low-level tension that filled every room. And I learned early. If I was good, if I was quiet, if I didn't add to the problem, things were easier. So I became the easy one. The daughter who got good grades without being asked. The kid who didn't complain. The teenager who didn't rebel. My mother used to say, "Kara, you're such a blessing. I never have to worry about you." And I wore that like a badge of honor. I carried that into adulthood. When I met my husband, Eric, I was 25. He was confident, decisive, had strong opinions about everything. And I liked that, because I didn't have to decide. I could just go along. He wanted to move to the suburbs. Sure. He wanted to vacation in the mountains instead of the beach. Fine. He wanted to spend holidays with his family. No problem. I thought I was being a good partner. But really, I was just being small. At work, I was the same. The coworker who never said no when someone asked for help. The one who stayed late to finish someone else's project. The one who didn't push back when my ideas were dismissed. My boss once told me, "Kara, you're so easy to work with. I wish everyone was like you." And I smiled. But inside, I felt hollow. Because easy to work with meant I never made waves. And never making waves meant I was never really seen. By the time I turned 45, I'd spent my entire life being what other people needed, and I didn't even realize it. Until one night, when Eric asked me a simple question, "Where do you want to go for dinner?" And I couldn't answer. Not because I didn't care, but because I genuinely didn't know. I'd spent so long asking other people what they wanted that I'd forgotten how to know what I wanted. And that terrified me. Because if I didn't know what I wanted for dinner, what else didn't I know about myself? Chapter 2. The Shift. The change started small. It was a Tuesday afternoon. My friend Michelle called. "Hey, Kara, can you watch the kids Saturday? I have a thing." Normally, I would have said yes immediately, but this time, I paused. Because I had plans. Not big plans, just plans to do nothing. To sit in my house, read a book, be alone. And for the first time, I said, "Actually, I can't. Sorry." There was a pause. "Oh, okay, no worries." But I could hear it in her voice. Surprise, maybe even a little irritation. And I felt guilty. But I didn't take it back. A few days later, Eric asked if I wanted to go to his coworker's barbecue. "Not really," I said. He looked at me. "You don't want to go?" "No." "Why not?" "I just don't feel like it." "Is something wrong?" "No, I just don't want to go." He stared at me like I'd grown a second head, because I never said no to things like that. "Okay," he said slowly. "We don't have to go." But I could tell he was confused. At work, I stopped volunteering for extra projects. When my coworker, Angela, asked if I could cover her presentation, I said, "I can't. I have my own work to finish." She blinked. "Oh, okay, I'll figure it out." And she did, and nothing bad happened. These were small things, tiny shifts, but they felt seismic. Because for the first time in my life, I was choosing myself. Not loudly, not aggressively, just honestly. And it felt strange, like I was breaking some unspoken rule, but it also felt right, because I wasn't being difficult. I was just being clear. Chapter 3. The questions. It didn't take long for people to notice. Michelle called me a few weeks later. "Hey, Kara, are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm fine. Why?" "I don't know. You just seem different." "Different how?" "I don't know. Just different." "Are you sure everything's okay?" "I'm sure." But she didn't sound convinced. My mother called me after I declined an invitation to Sunday dinner for the third week in a row. "Kara, is everything all right with you and Eric?" "Everything's fine, Mom. It's just, you haven't been coming to dinners, and you seem distant." "I'm not distant. I'm just busy." "Busy with what?" "Just life." She was quiet for a moment. "Well, let me know if you need to talk." "I will." But I knew what she was really saying. You're not acting like yourself. At work, Angela stopped asking me for help. Not in a mean way, just stopped. And when I walked into the break room one day, the conversation stopped. "Hey, Kara," Angela said, a little too brightly. "Hey." I poured my coffee and left, and I heard them start talking again as soon as I was gone. I didn't know what they were saying, but I could feel it. They were talking about me, about how I'd changed. That night, I sat in my car in the driveway for 10 minutes before going inside, and I thought, am I doing something wrong? Because everyone was acting like I was, but I wasn't being mean. I wasn't being cruel. I was just being honest. Saying no when I meant no. Saying yes when I meant yes. Not over-explaining. Not performing. Why did that feel like a crime? Because the world was used to the version of me that said yes, and they didn't know what to do with the version that didn't. Chapter 4. The Resistance. The resistance wasn't loud. There were no fights, no confrontations, just subtle shifts. Michelle stopped calling as much. My mother's tone was always slightly worried. Eric started asking, "Are you sure you're okay?" Almost every day. And at work, I felt like I was being slowly edged out. Not fired, not mistreated, just less included. One night, Eric and I were sitting on the couch. He was watching TV. I was reading. And he said, "You've been really quiet lately." "I've always been quiet." "Not like this." I set my book down. "What do you mean?" "I don't know. You just seem withdrawn." "I'm not withdrawn. I'm just not performing." "Performing." "Yeah, performing. Being what everyone expects me to be." He frowned. "I don't expect you to perform. Don't you?" He didn't answer. And I realized he did. Not maliciously, not consciously. But he'd gotten used to a version of me that agreed with him, that went along, that didn't push back. And now that I wasn't doing that, he didn't know what to do. A few weeks later, I had coffee with Michelle. She brought it up immediately. "Kara, I feel like we're not as close as we used to be." Why do you think that? I don't know. You just seem different, like you're pulling away. I'm not pulling away. I'm just not saying yes to everything anymore. But you used to be so available. Available, I repeated. Yeah. Michelle, do you like me? Or do you like that I'm available? She looked hurt. That's not fair. Isn't it? We sat in silence. And I realized she didn't miss me. She missed the version of me that was easier to rely on. They didn't miss her. They missed the version of her that was convenient. Chapter 5. The doubt I started to doubt myself. Maybe I was being too harsh, too cold, too distant. Maybe I should go back to being the way I was. It would be easier, less friction, less loneliness. Because the truth was, I felt lonely. Not because I was alone, but because I felt misunderstood. One night, I was lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, and I prayed, not formally, not religiously, just talked. God, am I doing this wrong? Everyone acts like I'm the problem. Maybe I am. Maybe I should just go back to being easy. And then, quietly, I felt something. Not a voice, not a sign, just a knowing. You're not wrong for changing. You're just honest now. And honesty makes people uncomfortable. The next morning, I woke up with clarity. I wasn't going to go back. Not because I wanted to punish anyone, but because I couldn't unsee what I'd seen. I couldn't unknow what I'd learned. I'd spent 47 years being what other people needed. And I was done. Not because being kind was wrong, but because being small was killing me. Chapter 6. The Peace. The months that followed were hard. Some friendships faded. Some family relationships became strained. Work was awkward. But something else happened too. I felt lighter. Like I'd been carrying a weight I didn't know was there. And now it was gone. I started doing things I'd never done before. I took a painting class, just for me. I started going for walks in the morning, alone. I said no to things without guilt, and I said yes to things I actually wanted. Eric and I went through a rough patch, but we came out the other side because he started seeing me, not the version of me that agreed with him, but the actual me. And it was uncomfortable at first, but it was also real. One night, he said, I think I like this version of you better, even though I'm harder to deal with. You're not harder, you're just honest. Michelle and I didn't talk for a while, but eventually, she reached out. I'm sorry, she said. I think I was upset because I realized I'd been taking you for granted. I'm sorry too. I could have handled it better. No, you were right. I did miss the version of you that was always available, and that wasn't fair. We hugged, and our friendship changed. It wasn't the same, but it was better, because it was honest. Chapter 7. The Reflection. It's been 2 years now since I started changing, and I'm not going to tell you everything is perfect. It's not. Some people still don't understand. Some people still think I'm cold, or distant, or difficult. And that's okay. Because I've learned something. Peace doesn't always come with applause. Sometimes it comes with distance. Sometimes it comes with misunderstanding. Sometimes it comes with people walking away. And that's okay. I'm not the same person I was 2 years ago. But I'm also not a different person. I'm just clearer. Clearer about who I am, what I want, what I will and won't tolerate. And that clarity is uncomfortable for some people, because they liked the blurry version better. But I can't go back to being blurry. Not for anyone. She didn't become harder. She became clearer. Conclusion. The courage to stay changed. I'm 49 years old now, and for the first time in my life, I'm not performing. I'm not easy. I'm not convenient. I'm not always agreeable, but I'm honest. And that's worth more than being liked by people who only liked the small version of me. So if you're watching this, and you've changed, and people are acting like that's a problem, I want you to hear this. You're not wrong. You're just honest now. And honesty makes people uncomfortable, especially people who benefited from your silence. Changing isn't the hard part. Staying changed is. Because the world will test you. People will push back. They'll ask if you're okay. They'll tell you you've changed. And they'll say it like it's a bad thing. But it's not. Changing means you're growing. And growing means you're alive. You don't owe anyone the old version of yourself. Not your family, not your friends, not your coworkers. You don't owe them explanations. You don't owe them apologies. You just owe yourself the truth and the courage to live it. This is Good Stories Today, your channel for emotional and inspiring stories. If this story resonated with you, I'd love for you to subscribe. I share stories like this every week. Real, honest, human stories about transformation, identity, and the courage it takes to stay true to yourself. Thanks for listening. And remember, you didn't change to make people uncomfortable. You changed to finally be yourself. See you in the next story.